Hi. I was shaking the first time I said my name in English. Just one sentence. And I was terrified. I thought people would laugh at me. I thought I would make mistakes. But that one moment, that tiny sentence, changed everything. Because I realized something powerful. You don't have to be perfect to speak English. You just have to be brave enough to try. Let's begin. And one quick thing before we start. If you have any suggestions or ideas to help me improve these videos, please leave a comment. I read every single one, and I want to make these lessons better and better for you. All right, let's go. My name is Lena, and today I'm going to share the story of my first English class. I'll show you what I felt, what I said, and what I learned, step by step. And as I tell you this story, you'll learn useful English phrases you can start using today. Repeat the phrases out loud with me. And most of all, don't be afraid. This isn't just my story. It's yours too. Let's begin. It was a bright Monday morning. I left my apartment early and walked toward the language school. The city was still quiet. People were going to work, holding coffee cups, waiting for buses. I held my small notebook tightly in my hands. As I reached the building, I looked up. The school was on the 3rd floor. I took a deep breath, entered the elevator, and pressed the button. My heart was beating fast. This is it, I whispered to myself. When I stepped out, I saw a hallway with several doors. One of them had a small sign that said, Beginner English, Room 302. There were already a few students standing outside. Some were looking at their phones. Others smiled politely. Everyone seemed a little unsure, just like me. I sat on a bench and looked around. I saw people from different countries, maybe Brazil, Korea, Turkey. We were all strangers, but we had something in common. We wanted to learn English. Suddenly, the door opened. A woman with short hair and a big smile stepped out. "Good morning, everyone. I'm your teacher. Please come in." I stood up, grabbed my notebook, and walked into the classroom. The walls were colorful, and the chairs were arranged in a big circle. On the whiteboard it said, "Let's learn together." I chose a seat near the window, took another deep breath, and smiled nervously. This was the beginning. The teacher stood in the center of the room and looked at each of us with a kind smile. "Let's start with introductions," she said. "Just tell us your name, where you're from, and one thing you like." That sounded simple, but I could feel my heart beating faster. The student next to me went first. "Hello," he said. "My name is Marco. I'm from Italy. I like pizza and soccer." Everyone laughed softly. Then another student spoke. "My name is Aisha. I'm from Morocco. I like books." We all smiled and nodded. One by one, the students introduced themselves. Each voice made me feel a little braver. I listened carefully, repeating the structure in my head. "My name is... I'm from... I like..." Then it was my turn. I stood up slowly, feeling my hands shake. "Hi," I said. "My name is Lena. I'm from Colombia. I like music and coffee." There was a short silence. Then, smiles. The teacher clapped her hands. "Great job, Lena." Everyone else clapped too. I felt warm, proud. I did it. I had just spoken English in front of people for the first time. After the introductions, the teacher smiled and picked up a marker. "Now," she said, writing on the board, "let's practice a short conversation." She wrote, "What's your name? Where are you from? Nice to meet you." Then she turned to us and said, "Stand up and talk to the person next to you. Use these questions and answers. Don't worry. Just try." I looked to my right. A girl with short black hair smiled at me. "Hi," she said softly. "I'm Aiko. I'm from Japan." I smiled back, trying to remember the phrases. "Hi, Aiko. I'm Lena. I'm from Colombia. Nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too," she replied. We both laughed a little. I could tell she was nervous too, just like me. Then I asked, What do you like?" She thought for a moment. "I like drawing and cats." "I like music and coffee," I said, now feeling a bit more confident. Around the room, other pairs were talking too, some louder, some quieter. The teacher walked around, listening, helping with pronunciation. She stopped near us and smiled. "Great job. That's a conversation. You're doing it." Aiko and I high-fived, and I felt a wave of joy. It wasn't perfect. My grammar wasn't perfect, and I forgot some words. But I spoke. I understood. I connected. For the first time, English wasn't just a subject in a book. It was real. It was alive. And I was part of it. After the conversation practice, we sat down again. The teacher smiled warmly and picked up a stack of small cards. "Let's learn some new words together," she said. She held up the first card, student. "That's you," she said, pointing to us. "Repeat, student." "Student," we all said together. "Next, teacher. She teaches us." "Repeat, teacher. Teacher," we echoed. Then came more. Classroom, country, language, learn. Each word felt like a small key, opening a new door in my brain. I repeated each one carefully, watching the teacher's mouth, listening to her rhythm. She wrote a sentence on the board. "I am a student. I learn English." We read it aloud. She pointed to herself and said, "I am a teacher. I teach English." Then she pointed to me. I smiled and said, "I am a student. I learn English." "Yes," she cheered. "Perfect." With every repetition, my confidence grew. I wasn't just sitting in a chair. I was participating. I was learning actively, not passively. For the first time, I didn't feel afraid of making mistakes. I felt supported. I looked around the classroom. I saw others smiling, nodding, repeating words just like me. It wasn't just me learning English. We were learning together. That day, I realized it's not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to try. Now, let's take a closer look at some important phrases from today's story. These will help you start conversations in English. First, what's your name? This is a simple way to ask someone their name. You can say it to anyone, like a new friend, a neighbor, or a coworker. Next, Where are you from? Use this question to learn about someone's country or city. It's a friendly way to get to know people. Then, nice to meet you. Say this after someone tells you their name. It's polite and shows you're happy to meet them. Here's a tip. When someone says, nice to meet you, you can reply with the same phrase. Nice to meet you, too. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to make small mistakes. The important part is to keep practicing these phrases every day. You can use these expressions at school, at work, or even when traveling. Practice them with your friends, or say them out loud when you're alone. The more you use them, the easier English will become. Now, it's your turn to speak. Repeat after me. What's your name? Good. Try to say it with a friendly smile. Next, my name is your name. Great job. Replace your name with your own name. Now say, where are you from? Perfect. Remember to speak slowly and clearly. And answer, I'm from your country. Awesome. Use your country or city here. Finally, practice this. Nice to meet you. Say it like you really mean it. Pause the video if you want more time to practice. Here's a question for you. If someone says, nice to meet you, what do you say back? Write your answer in the comments below. Keep practicing every day. Your English will get better and better. The introductions continued, but I could finally breathe. I wasn't alone. We were all learning, all trying, all starting something new. That small moment, just saying my name, felt like a big step. Today was your first step, just like mine was years ago. Remember, every big journey begins with a small step. You learned how to introduce yourself, ask simple questions, and be polite in English. Don't worry if it feels hard now. Learning a language takes time and practice. The important thing is to keep trying every day, no matter what. Be brave. Speak even if you make mistakes. Every time you try, you get better. If you liked this story, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. There are many more stories and lessons coming your way. Together, we will make learning English fun and easy. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.